What do you do for work to be able to afford world schooling trips and world schooling your children and being remote and traveling the world? And I think the question here isn't really what I personally do as the founder of World Schooling Journeys, the company that organizes world schooling trips and cruises for homeschooling families all over the world. I think the question is in general, like, what do families, parents do, those that go on these world schooling trips, those that travel the world, what do they do to be able to afford this lifestyle and to be able to, be away for this long, teaching their kids through travel? And I've spoken about this several times. You can scroll down and look at some of the videos. But in general, it's very, very varied and diverse what parents, world schooling parents, do to be able to afford this lifestyle. If you're actually asking what I do, is I've owned businesses for the last 20 years. My oldest business is 15 years old now. And I've been, setting myself up to live this kind of lifestyle for a very, very long time. So it's not something that happens overnight, though. In this day and age with the internet, it's much easier to get into this lifestyle. I started working on this, 20 years ago and slowly kind of got to where I needed to be. But nowadays, literally within a year or two, you can make this happen, and sometimes even less. And I'm working on a resource specifically for that to help people kind of find their thing that creates this freedom, this time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom. Hopefully it's going to be out by the end of the year. I own several remote businesses that I run from anywhere in the world, anywhere that we travel. I also have teams for some of those businesses, and that's just me. Like, that doesn't work for everyone else. Not everyone can manage 4 different businesses, and not everyone has had, 20, 25 years of experience, like playing with them, doing trial and error like I did. So I think what I do is really irrelevant. It's like, what do people do? What do world schooling families do to be able to afford this kind of lifestyle when it comes to time and ability to go, and then also financially? And I would say, for the most part, now what I've seen from traveling with our community and our group, and by the way, the best way to learn is to surround yourself with those same people who are already living the lifestyle that you want, and learn from the community. So joining our trips, joining our Facebook group, that's the best way to get connected with the people who have made this lifestyle a reality. So you know how they say, you are who you surround yourself with. So being amongst this lifestyle, both spiritually, energetically, and physically, will help you kind of get into that realm. So what most people do is, I would say 30% of people have remote jobs. So they work for someone, but it's a remote job, so they can do it anywhere they want. I would say 15% of people have set themselves up over the last 10, 15 years with either businesses that run remotely or investment properties or some other investments. And so they're somewhat hands-off. They just have to work here and there. So business owners. Then there's some percentage of people who are business owners, but they're active business owners. So they're actively in the business, so they're working while they're away. But it's not a job. It's a business that can be run remotely. I would consider myself one of them. I guess I have a few businesses that are set up independently. They're running on their own, but then some businesses that I'm active participant in, like the World Schooling Journeys, this company, I am a very, very active participant in, because we're still in the early stages. We're only 2 years old. Then there are people who have sold everything. I mean, every single piece of clothing, toys, and all their gear, house, cars, everything, and then put that money into an investment account, and they're living off of dividends. It's not a lot usually. So they travel a lot around Asia, where it's more affordable and they're on a budget, and so they pick and choose what type of trips they go with us on. So they are financially independent, I would say, but they're on a budget. Then there are those who have investments that are really large investments, and so they are not on a budget and they're financially independent, but that's a very, very small, I would say 2% of people are that way. There are a handful of families that I've met who have taken a year off of their job, and we're doing world schooling for a year. There's a handful of families that, where the husband, well, actually, this is a big demographic, where the husband works and stays at home, and the wife and the kids travel the world and educate themselves through travel. That's a I would say like 30% of families are like that, because, you know, the husband has a business or has a really good job, so he's able to stay back and finance this kind of lifestyle for his wife and the children, because he understands and agrees that it's an incredible way to raise kids, to see the world, learn from the world, and they're happy to do that. I'm working on a resource. I've been working on this for 2 years, but obviously I'm busy with all the different businesses, but working on a resource that will help you guys kind of figure out what type of business is more for you, more aligned with you, so that you can focus on that rather than like jumping around and, you know, doing all these things that you're seeing other people do, because it's really not about, like, you can get inspired by what other people do, but you have to find your own thing. If there's one thing that I can tell you from the last 22 years of building businesses, and I've been doing this since I was 18, I'm 41 now, you cannot copy people. You can get inspired by people. You can see what is possible, but you need to find your own thing that works for you. Copying never works. So the resource that I'm working on is focused on exactly that. So I'm very excited to eventually release it. In the meantime, there's plenty of information online. Just get inspired, get into the communities that actually live this kind of lifestyle. Come join our trips, get to know the parents and the children, and see with your own eyes how possible this is and how freeing this lifestyle, this mindset, and this like schooling is.